A couple of weeks or months ago, you decided to take a stand. You said enough is enough and you started your fat loss journey. But now some time has passed. You look the same in the mirror, numbers on the scale haven't budged, or maybe they've increased. Well, I'm here to share 10 mistakes that kept me fat as hell when I was trying to lose weight. By the way, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm just somebody who has successfully been through the process and I want to share what worked for me. And make sure you stick around for tip 10 because this tip has helped me lose over 9 pounds in my most recent fat loss phase and I ain't heard anybody talking about it. So make sure that you stick around for that. Tip 1, not having a plan. How long is your fat loss phase gonna be? Have you set up your environment appropriately to help you achieve your goals? Because if not, it's like going to build a house for somebody without any blueprints. Like you trying to kill somebody? If you are, ain't none of my business. I'm just here to provide you with some fat loss advice. Tip number 2. So you have your plan. But let me ask you 2 questions. How much fat are you planning to lose and in what space of time? If it's like 8 pounds in 8 weeks, super cool. We're good. If it's looking like 30 pounds in 30 days type level, you might want to reevaluate. In order for us to have a successful fat loss phase, we have to give ourselves realistic goals, realistic targets, and realistic expectations. Tip number 3, keeping this one short and sweet. You have to be counting your calories. If you don't keep track of something, you'll lose track of it. And if you're mindlessly just stuffing your face with food that you are not keeping track of, that's a pretty surefire way to put on a shed load of fat in a very short period of time. Using something like MyFitnessPal is a phenomenal place to start. Tip number 4. So you're now counting your calories, but how do you know that you're punching in the right numbers? Now that's when this bad boy comes into play. Fun fact, turns out humans aren't all that great at eyeballing our calories. And when we do eyeball our calories, this can lead to us miscalculating by a significant margin. So moral of the story, knowing exactly what's going into our bodies and knowing how much of said thing is going into our bodies, it is one of these staples that makes for a successful fat loss phase. Tip number 5. So you're counting your calories and you're weighing your food. Perfect. But you've been a little bit naughty, haven't you? That extra spoon of peanut butter. I can tell you from personal experience that brought my fat loss to a grinding halt. Plateau after plateau. You'd be surprised how small acts like this can really add up over the weeks and the months and ruin your progress. So if you snack, make sure that you track. Tip number 6. You knew this one was coming. It's neglecting low calorie dense foods. In a fat loss phase, you kind of need the most bang for your buck. You need something that is very filling for the least amount of calories. And the best way to meet that set of criteria is by eating mostly whole foods. I'm not saying that you can't have a little junk, but if the bulk of your calories are coming from like Doritos and ice cream, you might want to reevaluate your definition of bang for your buck. Tip number 7, get the trigger foods out of the house. Ever have a certain food lying around where once you get that little taste, you just can't stop? My trigger food is Nutella. I can't really be around it. So if you have a food that acts as your kryptonite, I highly recommend that you get this out of the house. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far, then don't forget to leave a like. It's a great way to support the channel. Thank you very much. Tip number 8, not counting the calories in your sauces. Many folks out there are underestimating how calorie dense condiments and sauces can be. Did you know that you can easily add up to 400 to 500 calories worth of salad dressing to a relatively low calorie salad just by using the wrong type of dressing? And I'm telling you this from personal experience. My advice, opt for lower calorie sauces so you can have more of that sauce to make your diet food taste even more delicious. Tip number 9. We are almost at the secret tip that I have not heard anybody else on this platform talk about. And this tip has significantly aided me in losing a further 9 pounds on my most recent fat loss phase. So hang on for just a moment. But tip number 9, do not overestimate the calories burned on cardio machines, fitness watches and fitness trackers, etc. because they are wrong. Please don't eat back the calories that you've burned because you'll most likely bring yourself back up to maintenance, if not even a slight surplus, resulting in no fat loss for that week. And that ain't good for anybody, especially if you're somebody watching this video. I use the 50% rule. Whatever the calories say on the watch or the machine, you take 50% off that. But I'll tell you what's better. Just completely ignoring it altogether. Whether it says you've burnt 50 or 1,000 calories, just eat the same as you usually would. Tip number 10, my secret weapon. Have an accountability tracker. This is extremely simple, but it is super effective. Grab a journal and plan how long your fat loss phase is gonna be. My last one was 8 weeks, so for simplicity's sake, we're just gonna go with that. There are 56 days in 8 weeks. You still with me? So we pull out 56 boxes. Each day, you stick to your calories, you are going to put a tick. The days you go over, you put a cross. This is a great objective way of tracking your progress. If you start seeing more crosses than ticks, then that may indicate you're going to have to slightly alter your approach. Oh, and be very careful with this. As for this to work, you have to be 100% honest, because if not, you'll just have a big fat list of all the lies that you've told for the past 8 weeks, and nobody wants that. If you started on 2,500 calories and now you're in your deficit and your new calories are at 2,000, one day you eat 2,100. It's only 100 calories, but that's 2,100, not 2,000. So although it may be small, an X is going in the box. I know could be seen as being OCD or pedantic, but I'm just telling you what has worked for me. For my fatty family, that is all I've got. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.